Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another special edition of the FighterHeart podcast. We're doing a round table today. We have Kayla, Alex, and Rob. Thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
it. So let's maybe just do like a minute or two intro of each of you. Um, if people didn't see your actual episodes yet. So if we could start with Kayla and then we'll go down the line. Alex, Rob.
Absolutely. I'm Kayla. I'm here in Colorado. I'm a right below knee amputee, and I lost my leg to treatment-resistant complex regional pain syndrome just about 4 years ago. I recently underwent 4 revision surgeries, lost another inch and a half, and am getting back to life again. So excited to be here after all the adventures. And it's good to see Rob because I saw him in November at volleyball. So this is
Right.
exciting.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Mhm.
November. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Alex, what's up with you?
All right. My life is always changing, so my story is always changing. But yeah, no, I know you guys for a while. I've I've been a fighter my whole life, ever since I was 8 years old. Won the Junior Olympics, won the Golden Gloves, and I had to stop boxing because of an injury. Didn't know what it was up until last year. CCI, craniocervical instability. Basically, the ligaments in the back of my neck just became a little bit loose and unstable. But fortunately, I found doctors out here and in Colorado that have been able to, basically, heal me, fix me. I've been adjusted. I've had stem cells injected in the last year um, to repair those ligaments, and now it looks like I am should be getting back into the ring soon. Hopefully fighting in the next couple of months. But besides that, I've been a coach for 8 years now. Still have that going, primarily online now, ever since I moved to Florida. And I help people climb their mountain, become the strongest version of themselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually, while I'm climbing mine.
Awesome. When did you just moved to Florida?
2 years ago now.
2 years. All right, Rob, how about you?
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez. I've been a part of Fighter Heart, I think, since almost like the beginning of bringing it here. To see it flourish is amazing. So I hope everyone goes checks out all of our stories. I'm also a below the knee amputee on my right leg. I'm a USA athlete. I did USA amputee soccer, USA triathlon, and Kayla and I play on the development team for USA sitting volleyball now currently, and just being able to take my situations. Didn't come from an easy upbringing. Nothing was ever given to me. So I'm kind of known for making the best out of whatever I have and trying to make it flourish as much as possible. And so anyone who learns and is listening from my message, that's kind of my premise. And I love to team up with Fighter Heart because that's the whole goal is just to kind of inspire, utilize what we've learned, teach it forward, not only to the future, but helping people who may now be navigating through some struggles and bring some positivity to their life. So always blessing to be here.
Totally. Thank you. That you hit the nail on the head. That's the whole point of the show. So people can gain some comfort, realize really that anything's possible. So for Kayla and Rob, actually all three of you. So looking back, like, was there I don't want to go too deep into your stories individually because they can do that and go look back at our podcasts. But can you guys describe some turning points in your journey so far that really stick out to you? Um,
Um,
Kayla,
Ladies first,
oh,
ladies first, always.
yeah,
Kayla, always,
yeah.
always ladies
Oh,
first.
Start with Kayla.
okay. I mean, the biggest turning point for me was when I woke up from my amputation and I realized that I had the second chance at life. That for me was like the biggest 180 I could have ever done. Um, it was that in that moment that I woke up, I was like, wow, I didn't expect to. And so the fact that I did was pretty incredible. I ended up leaving an abusive ex-husband. I moved, I got a new job. I changed my entire life because I was given a second chance, and I got to do it right this time. So I was very excited about that. So,
What made you think why you took that second chance so willingly? Like you were like, it's now or never, basically.
um, I leading up to, and it's funny, I was talking to a friend today about it, is the day of my amputation, I was on my deathbed. I hadn't eaten in a while. I hadn't slept. I was hallucinating. I was in so much pain that I knew that I wasn't going to make it another couple months if this didn't work. And so I went in with a very drear outlook of like I didn't expect to wake up from that surgery. And then the fact that I woke up and I was pain free was like this epiphany almost of like, you get to do this right this time. So you better not waste it.
You think of it as like a sign? Are you a spiritual person?
I am a fairly spiritual being, I guess, but I I took it as a like I had worked so hard to save my own life up to that point, and the universe was like, "All right, you proved it. You took your chances, and here's your gift." So,
Awesome. Alex, how about you? Turning point?
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing, Kayla. Inspired by that. I've never been in that dire situation before. Um, but so that gives me, inspiration, and I am spiritual, very much so. Uh, I believe that that if we're here for a reason, you know. I believe that we're given, obstacles, hardships to overcome them, and then to win with whatever winning is to us. But I would probably say uh, finding joy in your life, and turning the worst thing that happened to you into the best thing that's happened to you. And in my life, when I had to stop, boxing, I didn't know what I had since I was 15. It didn't feel good after sparrings, fights, when I was 15, 16. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll go to school. I'm very good at school. I'm an honor roll student, got a full ride to NYU, Stern School of Business. Decided to go back to boxing after college. Still had, some of my symptoms. Won the Golden Gloves, but now I'm like, all right, something must be wrong with me because I don't. Something feels wrong. Something is wrong. Went to all these doctors. Nobody could give me an answer. My brain looked great, and then a couple of years down the line, a neurologist said, "Hey, maybe you should check out this Atlas Orthogonal Chiropractic. Check out your neck." And then they found I had a little bit of treatment in Connecticut, but I didn't really get treated down here as transformative as it was down here, then in Colorado. But basically, I feel like I've been given a second chance. In similar way
Kayla.
to Kayla. Um, and I don't feel like it was me. It wasn't me who gave me that second chance. I feel like it was completely out of my hands, you know? Um, so I think that we're given that for a reason, and I intend to use that second chance to become the best version of myself. I thought that when I was, upper 20s, I'm 31 now, that my prime, the best time of my life was behind me. And I think that's a lie that a lot of us are convinced by, that the best times of our lives are behind us. But I think they're in front of us. I think that we have no idea what is in front of us. We can make it though. We can make it that way. So as I said, if we're here for a reason. And as I said, I feel like I've had a second chance getting back into the ring. My symptoms are slowly dissipating. It's unbelievable. It's a miracle. So I'm excited for my new lease on life, and I feel like all of us here today have that. So my advice to everyone is go get them, because yeah, that's the best part of our lives are in front of us. So God wants us to enjoy and to win and to, conquer the world in a very positive way.
That Miami weather is probably helping too.
Yeah, definitely.
Might be helping a little
No,
bit too.
definitely. No, the sun, the view,
Yeah.
it's nothing but good vibes. I'm around good people as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
for
so
sure.
yeah.
I never understood growing up, like when I would talk to like adults, they would say, the best time you're ever gonna have is in college, so live it up. I did never understood that.
It's just projection, We're
Yeah,
we're we're all children here. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody can tell you that they know what they're doing, but this is everybody's first time as far as I know.
yeah,
So listen to the people who inspire you. Don't listen to the people. What will Michael Jordan say to that fact? What would Michael Jackson say to that? What would Usain Bolt? What would
yeah,
any of us say to that?
yeah.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Find the truth. Like I say, people suffer because they believe in lies. When you know the truth is very, very good.
Agreed, agreed. Rob, how about you? Can you give us a little turning point?
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love what Alexander said. I love what Kayla said. And I think turning points for me, I've had multiple. I think we all go through constant turning points. I think it's just, of course, there's so many that stand out. I'll say two turning points. I think it's early for me, since I was an amputee, since I was a kid. A turning point for me was really embracing it once I got into my mid 20s, accepting that things will never change. This is who I am and what I look like, and deciding to dive into it. So, turning point for me was, I guess, that decision to say, you know what, this is who I am. That moment of switching and just embracing everything, and then watching it just then come to me as a magnet the harder that I worked for it. And then I think now at this point in time, doing so many great things and being able to have the opportunity, should I say, to be around these great people and these amazing things. It's the turning point now is trying to settle down. I think society's crazy. Everything and everyone is crazy. Anytime I speak to anyone now, they got some rumbling going on. No one is like kind of like even Alexander said, like just no one's perfect. There's nothing that's set. And so realizing, hey, now it's time to take a step back. And that's a hard part of after taking all this time of diving in and realizing I was missing out and then life unfolding the way it is. The new turning point is realizing now taking a step back, doing things with just a little bit more efficiency and paying attention to some of the things that may have been missed. So and realizing just how much we already have. That's where I'm at now. How much I already have, and how do I take care of and maintain the things that we work for because life goes by fast. So that's my new turning point related to being like a butterfly. We're constantly changing each year. Sometimes you may be a caterpillar, you may be in the cocoon by yourself, but if you do the right thing, you come out bright, beautiful with some powers. And so those are all turning points each year. You who you are right now is not who you were 5 years ago. You might have loved blue. Now all of a sudden you love green. Now you're more into money than you were,
Yeah.
now 5 years ago. So being able to change, understand the turning point and utilize it to go uphill. But those are my two turning points.
Could happen anytime, right? You could have a turning point tomorrow, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. It's always so being able to kind of metamorphosize with it like a butterfly.
Awesome, awesome. So can you guys explain to us your mind state, your mindset before your turning point, like your first one, like kind of like your lowest point, to what it is now and the difference in mindset? Kayla, you kind of talked about it a little bit. You said you're on your deathbed,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so the disease that I had was the complex regional pain syndrome. It's also known as the suicide disease. And that is not an understatement by any means. I had a lot of ideations and was just like I still to this day don't have the words to describe how detrimental that was to be in that place for so long and to fight that every day, waking up and I apologize. and just feeling like there's no hope in sight. And that's, having even a little bit of hope will keep you going for a long time. And when you have no hope and you continue to try and manifest it and bring it up somehow, it feels seemingly impossible. And it's giving me a lot of perspective over the years, and especially since, that's almost 4 years ago now that I was at my low. Actually, it was 4 years ago that I was at my lowest point. And today there's always going to be those struggles. Like, it's not easy when you live with a disability. You have to keep persisting and keep trying and keep pushing yourself through a lot of things. But it's given me a lot of perspective on how grateful I am to be here and be alive, and to be able to be in the presence of others like Alexander and Robert and you, and knowing that there's people out there, that we have a community, and that we can build, this amazing support system to get through these really crappy moments in life. So like today I feel very grateful that I'm here and I'm breathing and I'm happy to be here. So
Awesome, awesome. We're happy you're here too.
Yeah.
Alex, how about you?
Um, so I just, before I forget, I've been following Mount Everest. I'm fascinated by Mount Everest, all these new movies coming out. There's something called third man syndrome or something like that. Third man. So it's basically like when you're on Mount Everest and you're in a dire situation. Multiple climbers have basically said that, that they felt somebody or a presence help them get out of it, right? Like they're on the mountain, they're done. They're absolutely finished. And then for some reason, they survive. So basically, these people say that they felt like a presence was there to assist them. Um, my lowest point was when I finished the Golden Gloves, try to continue, try to turn pro, and my symptoms just would not dissipate. Um, and I couldn't continue. I was after a year after graduating NYU, starting school of business, a year after winning the Golden Gloves, I was down in the basement in my parents' house working as a waiter, and I was just crying and just like on the floor sobbing, like just not feeling very good. And I was just like, what am I? Like I spoke badly to myself, like I'm a loser, I'm a nobody, like, but even though I'm only, 20, 22 years old, 23 years old, I'm like, that kid has no idea. Um, but I'm grateful for that because it made me develop a relationship with God, and to realize that, those were nothing but lies that I believed. I just felt alone at the time, but I kept on going, found love, started my coaching business, and just decided to have faith, even though I couldn't, they had no idea what was ahead of me. But I believe in my soul, in my intuition, that the better days are in front of us, and that I will, win, because what I want is the betterment. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. I want to be here for people. And just keeping that blind faith and just being grateful, having gratitude. It's developed me, and God basically sent me around a lap. I wasn't ready to box so He sent me around a lap, and I took my lap with pleasure. It wasn't easy, of course, but yeah, I'm very, very, it's developed me. It's my hardships have developed me, and now I feel so much more capable, strong. I feel like I'm just getting started, So
Do you think God gave you faith, or was that like a free will choice and you were like,
I mean, I've always I've always been very close to, my intuition, God, if you will, ever since I was a kid. Um, I've always had a big heart. Um, and I think um, but again, I've had to, like, I have this on my phone, The Hand of God, right? By forgot who the artist who created that. I like in that situation, I prayed. Like I couldn't do it by myself. So basically it's like we can do a lot by ourselves. We can do a lot, but when we ask for help, even if it's from mom or dad or I think that your goals are more likely to come true if they come from a good place and it comes from love and God's, in my opinion, God's going to look out for you if what you want is for to help people, and that's what always been my motivation. It's never been for myself. I know I'm powerful, I know I'm strong, but I'm here to serve. So I've always been about serving my family, serving people, helping people, and I think that's what's made me strong and God has given me that power. I feel stronger than I've ever been, even when I spoke to you guys years ago, you know. Um, it's I wish we learned this, I wish we learned this growing up, but I kind of had to discover it. But I love the journey, and if you're about learning and learning and learning, not why is this happening to me? Why? Like there's a plan, there's a design. Keep following the steps with faith, and keep showing up, working hard, and life's gonna get good. Life's gonna get better and better. I don't know if you guys know Nick Santanastasso, or
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
do you know him? He has like
Oh, I know who he is.
no arms or legs, right? Like years ago, I was in one of his coaching programs, just about like for business, public speaking, whatnot. I was in his program for like maybe 6 months, a year, but I was fascinated by this guy. This guy was born with no legs and no arms, and he was my coach. He's coaching, he's one of the best public speakers in the world. So it basically, there's really no excuse to not live the life of your dreams. It's possible. It's there. It's really there. We all have our limitations. We can't fly, but that's okay. We can do plenty of other things. So
This guy, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, he has one arm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
No,
was your coach, you said?
yeah, online coaching program.
Oh, he's with The Rock over here.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no, he's one of the best public speakers in the whole world,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
yeah, no, definitely very, very, very inspiring.
Very cool. All right, Rob, how about you? Your mindset.
Run the question back for me again, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, can you just run through how your mindset changed from before those turning points? A couple of, I know there's a few that you
Yeah, yeah,
said you
yeah.
went through, and then how it is now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. For one, well, let me say this. Talk about coaches, great speakers. I'll give a shout out to Josh Sundquist, who I love. Who we played on the USA amputee soccer team together. He has taken me under his wing. Always been someone I can always rely on. Amazing advocate and spokesperson and public speaker as well. So Nick is dope. Josh is dope. So always just spreading more love and awareness to other guys if people don't know who they are. Um, big. Josh has been big on my career and my trajectory too. So I love that Alex, kind of like gave some love to Nick. And yep, yeah, yeah, yep,
There he is.
yes,
Wow.
sir, yeah, yeah.
That's his website.
No, if you got it, this is just you just I don't know what you got up there. Go back, just go to Josh Sundquist, put it in real quick in the URL. Yeah, this is him.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
just go. Yeah, he does. He's known for doing Halloween costumes. Great public speaker. There he is from soccer. He's amazing. So
Oh wow.
Paralympian for skiing.
He does stand up.
Yes, he does. Stand-up
Oh, that's
comedy. Yeah.
he's a renaissance man, this guy.
Oh, yeah, man. He's phenomenal. He's an author. Look at him. That's another him costume. Look at him like, come on, man. Yeah, bro. He's amazing.
Oh,
Josh is
he has a book. Wow, that's
a few
awesome.
books. Yeah, he's got a few books. He's amazing.
Very cool, man.
Show about his life on Apple TV. Josh is, so anyway, uh,
Wow.
yeah, but yeah, I think in regards to myself and mindset, those turning points that helped. Like I think going into it, mindset is always going to change. So what I just try to do is adapt. We're just always constantly trying to adapt. I think as us as people, we love searching for comfort, and the truth is being able to embrace change, which was what I said about my turning point, embracing who I was. Life is forever changing. So I just try to change my mindset with that. Keep some of my foundation, that framework. But no matter what I'm going through, just keep a strong mindset and be true to who I am. That's always been the goal. Just be true to it. So anytime that I've been faced with a turning point, an obstacle, biggest thing is making sure that the mind is ready. So right now, as a father of two, my daughter is going to be 11 this year. My son's going to be 13. My wife and I, there's a lot of diameters of it. They're not just kids we can put in the car and they just come wherever I want them to go. They've got friends and opinions and needs, and they talk back and they tell me I'm annoying right now, and they never said that to me before. So now I'm just in a whole new phase and switching the mindset now once again and being able to try to adapt while still pursuing some of the goals and staying true to who I am. And I think anybody out there, if they're able to just whatever you're going through, whatever's next to come, be willing and be open minded. But again, stay true to who you are, and then you'll get the results that you need. Be a fighter at heart.
Perfect. 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 Awesome, man. Okay, I got another one for you. Have you ever surprised yourself with your own strength? Meaning, did you think that you could get through some of the things you went through in your life before they happened? Like, oh wow, I'm about to take this on. Like, I don't know if I could do it. Or are your mindsets just like, all right, this is the obstacle, let's go over it?
I'm
Okay.
going to defer to Alexander on this one first, so
All
I have
right.
a chance to collect my thoughts.
Of
Sure,
course, of
sure.
course.
I mean, when you said that at first, it made me think about my first knockdown in the Golden Gloves. My first knockdown ever in a fight, but it was the quarterfinals of the Golden Gloves, and I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself, compared to now. As a fighter, I was basically my dad was very very confident in me. I was basically like a superhero, finding out that he's not like just ordinary, like I am strong. I've learned that. It's like, ever since I was a kid. And so I just saw it recently. Like this guy was putting pressure on me in the first round. He's putting pressure on me. He was a very very good fighter. And then I just threw a shot, and then all of a sudden he just like falls down, and it's like a huge knockdown. I'm like, whoa. Wow, didn't know I could do that. All right, cool. And I'm like, whoa. So that was like the beginning of like me. I think we don't know how strong we are. I think we don't. I think we have no idea. Something called like the 40% rule, how most of us are only living up to like 40% of what like our true potential. Um, and as far as like my obstacles, I mean, my biggest obstacle is definitely getting past my first attempt at pursuing my professional boxing career, because I was absolutely devastated. And I was, as I said, sitting in my parents' basement working as a waiter. I would thought I completely failed at life, but I didn't know that was where I was just been planted. Um, but I had no idea how I was going to get past, moving to New York City, working corporate for a little bit, becoming a coach. I didn't know how I was going to deal with letting go of boxing. That in itself was the biggest obstacle, having to let go of boxing and just completely walking away from it. But and then for some reason it found me later. It found me again. I'm
Did you think like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now? Like, or how'd you feel?
I mean, I've done a little bit of commercial modeling. I've taken acting classes. I've done some public speaking. I've done coaching. As I said, worked with Nick Santanastasso, multiple coaching programs, and I didn't really I was, of course, winging it, but I was pursuing my passions and then just trusting everything was going to work out. But like I told my dad this other day, I've gone to NYU. I've gone to business school. I'm not a businessman. I've done modeling. I'm not a model. Even though I can do that, right? I've done public speaking. I'm not a public speaker. I've done coaching, very good at coaching, but I'm not coach. What am I first? I'm a fighter. That's what I've always been. That's what I've always, everything stems from that. So, um, I've had to learn who I am again, you know? Um, but yeah, I had no idea. That's what I'm saying. God, I got some help here. That's what I'm saying. I can't tell you that it's been on me because it has not. As I said, I found love. I've become close with my family. I've gone to war with my family. I've battled demons. I've battled myself. I mean, it's been. I did not. Obviously there are people who've experienced a lot. The thing is we can't compare lives, right? Because everybody's lives is the hardest thing they've ever done, no matter who it is. So if we're here, if we've shown up, if we're still in the fight, um I think we're in a great place. I think we're in a great place. But yeah, I'm definitely very, very surprised by myself, by people around me, you guys. But anything definitely is possible. We're human, us humans, we have the strength of God. And like seriously, we can move mountains.
I agree, man. Totally, 100%. Thank you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Rob, let's go to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think learning, I think post COVID, I've learned about some strengths post COVID. I think is so many things of my wife was a nurse, surgical ICU. She got mandated during that time, and I think doing triathlon really changed a lot of my trajectory. Not thinking I can ever swim, bike, and run. Literally do that in the ocean, and then at the highest level, and be able to race around the world. And I have so many triathlon stories of being in a different country and things that have happened where I've had to fight back and then not only race and keep a healthy mindset. And I think most recently, the last 2 years, I did the New York City Marathon. Super hard, 26.2 miles as an amputee. Not just easy to just do.
Was
So
was there ever a point during the marathon where you thought, I don't know if I could do this?
of course, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
like, not, I mean, no, like, I think always know I can do it. I was trying to push for time. When you have your own expectations of yourself, battling yourself versus your body, and what's happening. So, yeah, there's times like I don't think I'm going to make it to at that time. I don't think I'm going to push, but knowing that I'm always going to get there. I always just try to have that kind of mentality. I'm always going to finish. It may just not be what I thought I was finishing at, or whatever it may be, or the expectations of others. But making sure that we always get the job done. But yeah, I think just fighting back and learning my strengths all the time, doing amazing things. Also, recently with the Range of Motion project, we got a chance to climb Cayambe in Ecuador. And we did it in the midst of a snowstorm and an avalanche scare and made it up to 17,000 feet of elevation. An effort of raising money for amputee kids in Ecuador. So that was tough. And it was really hard to kind of like to really push through that a little bit too. So you got to have a mindset for there. So that's it, being a fighter always. And that's why I love the fact that being on here with Alex and Kayla and yourself, Joe, it's like this is what it's about. So I love it. I love it, and I think that we're all pushing constantly with the way that things are going to find new strength. We need to do that always, So if we be 90 years old, need to dig down deep and find that new strength. You know what I mean?
Easier said than done, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Kayla, did you get a chance to think about it? You come up with anything?
Yeah. No, every obstacle you encounter in life, you don't think that you're gonna have a positive outcome until it gets over, Every time I took a step and I went from, using my walker to a cane to an unassisted step, I cried because I was like, I was told for many years, like, you never walk again, you never run again. And so, like, the very first chance I got to run a 5K, I wept after it because I was like, look at what you can do. Like, all these people are telling you, no, 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 you can't do this. And, I cry after every one of my half marathons I've ran. I cry after volleyball when I've, won a set. And I'm like, this is amazing. It's just all these moments where you put your faith in yourself and you push yourself forward and you're like, hey, I can actually do this regardless of what everybody else says. So
So it sounds like you all have your moments of doubt, but eventually the positive mindset kicks in and takes over everything.
absolutely.
Joe, here's what I would say. We all fall down, and it's okay to lay there for a second, but it's what you do after, right? So we all hit the ground, and it's cool to cry about it, but then you gotta, after a while, you gotta dust yourself off. What they say is, I don't know the exact time, so I'm spitballing with the time, but let's just say it's after 90 seconds of something happening to you, your emotions become a choice. So if you stay angry, if you stay negative or whatever, that's you choosing it. The shock factors wear it off. Now you're choosing to stay in that mindset. So
Hmm.
you got to keep fighting.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that before. I
Yeah.
want to know what the real number is on that.
Find the real number. Look it up, Joe. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I might look that up after this next question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
Oh, sorry, Caleb.
oh, I was just gonna add on to Rob's note is like the choosing to suffer is, that's something, we all go through these moments in life where they're tough, they're challenging, they're downright awful. But when you continually choose to suffer rather than like, I'm gonna choose to fight for my life, that's your choice after a while. So
So this is pretty powerful, right? Like we need to be our own parent, right? If you see your kid get knocked down, what are you going to tell him? Stay down? Yeah, stay
Yeah.
down. Of course not, right? If we're good parents, at least, right? Most of us, hopefully not. You can say get up, right? We're gonna be their number one supporter. If they're in a toxic relationship, we're gonna say you should probably get out of that. No matter it's a relationship or what else, it doesn't matter what it is. Um, you know, and that's what I think God is just being your best friend and taking care of yourself, being good to yourself, you know, because that parent, if it's God, if it's you, that wants the best for you, and knows that you can win and that it's not over until you believe it's over. The cliche, like that saying, defeat is a state of mind, right? It's not real. It's a lie. That's why whenever I have like a thought, where is this coming from? If I feel down, who wants me to feel down? Is it the enemy or is it God? This is how I think, right? Who am I if I'm suffering, am I supposed to throw in the towel? No, right? Why would a good parent want that? So I've been a lot better at watching over myself and taking care of myself and doing what's best for myself and being a good parent to myself. I think that's what
Awesome.
that's what it's really all about. No matter what your religion
Alex,
is,
love
or
that. Alex, I mean, I'm right there with you. So what I say is, as a coach, I say as a coach, and what I tell people is like, you got to be your own coach and you
yeah,
coach yourself. So I love, but parent right there, like that's same sentiment.
yeah, it's
I
all it's
love that
all the same.
we have to build ourselves up. How we talk to ourselves matter. How we treat our body matters. The thing about this, about Fighter Heart in general is you're highlighting people who have differences, who have fought through those differences, and we know how important health is, how important body is, and being resilient. So I love that. But yeah, I tell people that all the time, Alex. It's like you got to be your own coach. Take care of yourself. You live here. Say good things, do good things. Good things happen.
And I think it's a fact. I don't think it's an opinion. I think we're here to win. I think we're here to win. Anybody who wants to tell me that we're here to lose, I mean, just hear that over to yourself. We are here to win. We are, hopefully we have a good heart. We're here to take care of each other. We're here to help each other. We're here to make heaven on earth. I mean, and if somebody wants to refute that, Are we not here to make heaven on earth? We're here to win. So we're only here for a little bit, right? We're only here for a little glimpse of time. Might as well, make some waves and light some candles and people and make this world better. Why not? It's like I mean, it's just a dream. This life is just a dream. It's not. We can't stay attached to it. We're on the football field here. We're just in the boxing ring. And then we go back home. So let's kick some ass. Let's win. That's how I see life.
You also have to lose in order to win. You don't know what winning
That's right.
is
You
like
don't give
unless you've
up.
lost. So
Yeah, eventually, right? You take your loss. The people who win the most are the ones who fail the most. So it's like Rob said, it's okay to get knocked down. Completely okay. Everybody, all the greats get knocked down. Get knocked down, but get up, and you're gonna be a winner because you always get up. You know?
yeah, there was that Dwayne Wade ad: "Fall down 7, get up 8." Right?
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Life you're playing probabilities, right? Like you gotta understand. Like that's it. Just give yourself more numbers to get better, and you eventually you'll get there. Like whatever it is, that's life. The people who stop, they just don't end up getting to the result because they stop.
Like Denzel Washington said, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you'll eventually get a haircut.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right, here we go. So, Rob, when something emotionally triggering happens, your amygdala, the brain's fear emotion center, reacts almost instantly within 2 seconds, depending on the intensity, as low as 20 milliseconds. This is your automatic or reflexive response. Your prefrontal cortex, the main part of the brain responsible for reasoning, judgment, and decision making, takes a bit longer, usually 6 to 10 seconds, for you to comprehend what just happened. So it says if you pause for 10 seconds after an emotional event, take a breath, you're giving your prefrontal cortex time to kick in. And it says the longer you wait before acting on the emotional response, so 90 seconds, you were hit it right on, the more likely your response is thoughtful rather than reactive. Yeah, so 90 seconds. If you could wait 90 seconds, you'll calm down a lot after something crazy happens.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. So that's it. Being
Cool. I haven't heard of that.
Listen, we just gotta choose better. We gotta choose better, especially right now with so many things. I'm sure all four of us, as we talk through these boxes, uh, we have our own lives, right? We're gonna click off and go back to our own lives, whatever we're all dealing with personally. And it's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. So let's choose better. After that 90 seconds, we choose better. So,
Yeah.
I chose the wrong time to take a sip. That was like the worst time.
You're good, Joe. You're good, Joe.
Okay, let me move on here a little bit. Wow, it's already 7:45. All right, I got a few more. Can you guys name one or two people that really helped you get through your hardest times so far? Maybe parents, friends, whoever. Kayla, you have anyone?
I sure do. So, recently like I mentioned earlier, is I went through 4 different revision surgeries in the last 10 months. And, going through each one of those and having to have a longer stay and emergency room visits and like a lot of trauma going on there, I've realized that, um, I have a really beautiful support system that I've created over the last several years. And one of those people is my good friend Julia, and she also goes through many health crises, and she's in and out of the hospital as well. And so, having her there, and she's essentially my sounding board is when I'm like having those moments of, oh my gosh, this is really hard. And I feel like I'm starting to beat myself up, and she's sitting there like, no, you got to give yourself some grace. Like, you just had major surgery, you know, you shouldn't be running a half marathon 2 weeks later, like, obviously, So, and then I'm able to do the same for her. And it's a really wonderful connection to have in those moments where it's your inner critic is a lot louder than everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got to give ourselves grace sometimes. I tell my fiance that, like, sometimes she's like, I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm like, it's because you were up to like 4:30 in the morning with the baby. That's probably why you're tired. Like, she's like, I need more energy. I'm like, you can
Hmm.
give yourself some rest. Like you're allowed to take a break.
Joe,
Yeah.
how old is your baby? That's right. How old is your baby?
She's 11 and a half weeks.
Oh man, congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you.
I love 11 and a half weeks. I missed that age.
Yeah, how many you have kids?
Yeah, yeah. So my daughter's gonna be 11 in August. My son will be 13 in October. And this weekend we're going up to Pennsylvania, just her and I. My son has a tournament here. I'm taking my daughter upstate. She's competing at Spooky Nook, her first out-of-state AAU tournament. St.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah.
are you coaching her?
I'm not coaching her, not on this team, on a different team.
Yeah.
I've taken a few months off because my son, it was just been a crazy ride coaching all the teams. I was coaching her team before too, so it's been a busy schedule.
Mm.
So trying to balance
Uh,
that better, Joe.
Now, God bless. That's awesome, man. You're gonna have fun.
Thanks, man. Yes, yes, can't wait.
Alex, how about you? Any people that really helped you get through everything?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that one. I would probably say my doctor, Alex orthogonal chiropractor. Um, you know, I thought. I thought I was broken, you know. I thought I was broken. Every time I would get like, I guess like a light bump in the head, I would not feel well. I'm like, okay, something must be wrong with my brain. Something must be wrong with my brain. I was like, that's what I was convinced, but it just didn't make any sense. Never made any sense, especially after I got like the best brain scans in the world and like, went to the Amen clinics like, nope, you look pretty good. Look pretty good. Okay, but go see an Alex orthogonal chiropractor. So I saw one down here, and I got my scans. And before ever met him, on the way there, I was like listening to some like Christian music, and I was like speaking to God, and I couldn't believe it. This is before I met him. I couldn't believe that I was going to be fixed. I couldn't believe it. This is before I met him. Before. So I go, and then he basically, I go, and then he's one of the best Alice orthogonal chiropractors in Florida. People come from all around the country to see him. In front, it says in Jesus, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Like he's very, he's a Christian guy. We're talking about the Bible when I was there. When I first got there, he's like, "All right, do you want to know what's wrong?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what's wrong." And I'm just like hunched over. I can show you a picture, but like I'm like 2 inches taller now. I was like this. And I was like, "Yeah, I want to know what's wrong. I have no idea." And he's like, "Well, this, and that." And then I'm like, "But you can fix this." I'm like, "What? What? No." I can't. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe. He's like, yeah, no. God gave you that dream for a reason. You can fix this and you can get back in the ring. You just got to do this. You got to do this. You got to go see these doctors in Colorado. You got to get tightened up. I'm like, what? Yeah, right. I don't believe that. And then he adjusted me. He moved my neck. I was in a brace for like 2 weeks, like this. And every my whole psyche just I got a little bit like I'm like a little bit mad, but in a good way. Like, wow, I thought I was broken for all of this time. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was, because I had, as I said, I got all these tests and didn't know what was wrong. But it actually lined up perfectly. It's CCI, and I fixed the CCI. Fortunately, these guys in Colorado came up with this procedure that was only invented 10 years ago. That's a non-surgical way of fusing back everything. But yeah, I thought I was broken. And maybe a lot of us
What
have.
what made you go to the chiropractor?
I my girlfriend accidentally punched me.
Really? Really?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, like she was like trying to like poke my neck, like just play around, and she like gave me like a little like punch, and I'm like, ah, okay. And then I'm like, all right, so let me go see the car. My dad, I was speaking to my dad, and he's like, Alex, just follow up on it. I'm like, Dad, we've tried so hard, we've done this. He's like, Alex, you always tell me to believe. This is the first time my dad is using words I've told him about God, because my dad is not a person who talks about God. So he's like, you always tell me to believe. I'm like, okay, fine, Dad. All right, you're telling me that, so now I think it must be a sign. So I'll go see this doctor, and this doctor, kind of. restored my faith, and then also my doctor in Colorado, also a man of faith. Some of the best doctors in the world when it comes to orthopedic, regenerative, uh, procedures. And my doctors are excited for me. My doctors really believe in my ability to fully restore myself, and I'm feeling it and I'm seeing it. So, and that, like I said, that felt like an assist, from God. So if we've thought that we're broken, I don't think like I work with, clients as well, coaching clients, and I tell them there's nothing wrong with you. You're good. You're made perfect. You're made perfectly. But you gotta understand yourself a little bit better. And that's what I had to do. I had to understand myself a little bit better because I didn't understand myself, you know?
Wow, it all adds up because if your girlfriend didn't punch you, you
Exactly.
wouldn't have called your dad, and then he would have
Correct.
told you to go.
Exactly.
They all get a little credit there.
No, yeah, all of them, I just thought about
Thanks for punching me.
yeah. Yeah, she's going like this right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Everything lines up. Everything lines up.
It's so funny. Rob, how about you? Anyone stick out?
I think, my mother, I'm always going back to, my mother, she just always showed me, what a good, instead of just telling me, she kind of just showed me through hard work. Um, and, I would say my grandfather, just because he just always was a symbol of strength. And so I think as a young man, I really needed to see that. And as a man now, I needed to see that. So, and my uncle too. So, my uncle always just led by example. Anyone who led by example, I think more so than just, that was in my life. So again, my mom, my grandfather, my uncle for sure.
All right, I got a few more. What does your routines look like at this point? Are there any routines, habits, tools you utilize in your everyday life that help you thrive? Kayla?
Yeah. Therapy for one. Practicing that mental resilience because, you know, I don't know about Alex or Rob, but I wasn't born exceptionally strong-willed, and having to practice and practice and practice and practice the mental resilience to get through this stuff is very important. And, making sure that you can take care of yourself before you take care of others is huge. And, outside of that, don't really have a routine right now just because I'm still healing. So I'm, you know, learning that routine of staying in a slow-paced environment to let my body rest. And
Yeah.
but therapy, 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 therapy.
Alex, how about you?
Yeah, no, I think we all need forms of therapy. Everybody needs to talk to somebody. I don't care who it is. I don't care. The toughest guys in the world, Mike Tyson's, we all need to speak to somebody. Um,
Do you think
my
it has to be a physical person, or could you just talk to yourself or God?
I mean, I've benefited from both. I've benefited from God and people who've I guess delivered His messages, you know. So yeah, both people. God can speak to you, and through you. God can speak to you through other people. So I when I was young, I never spoke. I never spoke. I wasn't the environment where we grew up in was to was to speak and talk about how we feel, right? A lot of families don't really know about that. It's like this idea that all we need is food, shelter, and water, and we're good. Like that's what we need to stay alive, but we're very complicated, beings. We're emotional. We're very, very complicated. So I think it's important for us to feel close and connected to people. And the only way we can do that is by saying what we obviously these people should be trusted and loved, and they care about you. They want what's best for you. just to have people in your life that you can share that with, so you can bounce ideas off of, and for you to, because from our perspective, only from our perspective, I mean, we're so limited, you know. We're here to help each other. We have different eyes around us for a reason, and even just communicating, telling someone how we feel, it's made me so much stronger. As I said, when I was younger, I couldn't even dance, I couldn't sing, I was just like this, I just couldn't move. And then I've opened up with my family, talked about God with my family, talked about how we feel, and because it's different. You could be around a million people and not feel alone. So that's how we connect. And when we connect with each other, when we understand each other, even like we're doing now, we become stronger. We become stronger. So, um, but well, sorry, I was talking about therapy, but what was the question before that you asked,
Your
Kayla?
routines,
Oh,
like,
routine,
you have any
yes.
routines or
Yeah,
habits?
yeah, yeah. No, I train pretty hard here in Miami. I run, I box, I weight train. I do all forms of training. Getting back into fighting shape. I love to train. It's very spiritual for me. Constantly chasing, the strongest version of myself. I try to read my Bible often. Um, go to the pool, go to the beach. Um,
That's new, right? Going to the beach
yeah,
every
yeah.
2 years.
I mean, I don't go to the
That's
beach too often even. I don't go to
yeah.
I was at the beach on Friday, but like it's like right across the I live in Miami Beach. It's just right across the island. It's like half a mile away. It's South Beach there, but sometimes you just get a little bit like spoiled and you just kind of go to the pool. But I would say it's my training. I would say it's my training and my relationship with God that keeps me strong, that keeps me healthy, keeps me disciplined. So yeah, we need something, a habit that strengthens us. Either that's therapy or journaling or praying or training. But yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Rob, how about you?
Yeah, man, I love what Alex said. It's a lot of the same thing. My faith. So I think the routine has got to be, just having some you got whatever everyone believes in. Just having something a belief in other than someone other than yourself. So always encourage people to have faith, whatever that may be. My routines, I love writing things down. So I'm big on keeping notes, sticky pads. I got a million of them here. That's kind of like
Yeah.
my routine, constantly just write things down, get them out of my head. Sometimes I don't always do that, so making sure I'm being consistent with that to then check it off and get some of the goals out the way. Fitness. So yeah, so like I always say, I have like my four F's, whatever. So it's just like faith, family, fitness, finances, like those kind of things, and just trying to keep a focus on that. So, but yeah, constantly going over those things each day, but being able to adapt, because life always does throw some curveballs.
What's the ratio on the four F's? Are you trying to go 25% each, or is it?
Listen, there's no ratio, there's no standard. Us as human beings, we always got to have a box, like no standard, trying to be consistent. The standard is consistency. So whatever you're doing, just doing it consistently each day. Like Alex was saying, that discipline, right? So that's it. Just hitting some things, because not every day is an A day. So just whatever you can knock out, just start, just keep the train moving. And as long as you can do that, you'll be all right.
Awesome. So what can you guys tell me, are there any, like, I know Rob has at least one or two, like, companies or foundations you're working with right now that you'd like to talk about a little bit? Rob, I guess we could start with you because I know you have at least one.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean,
You're
not fault, but I'm wearing a ton of hanger
you're
stuff.
swagged out, yeah.
Do business development. I'm a business development manager at Hanger. Very lucky to be an amputee working in the industry. And I was working out and then doing some stuff around the house. So this is kind of what I had on. But anyway, uh, that Alps, I'm always Alps South liners. So Alps is huge, big supporter of mine. Love to be partnered with them. And that's it. I think Lim Possible, my organization Lim Possible, and the Lim Khan Foundation. Those are organizations that are huge to me. So,
What's the goal of Limkind?
Limcon, what we do is Lim Possible is my company. I do speaking, of course, and then Limcon, what we do is we are a nonprofit. We provide prosthetic legs to underprivileged kids. I've been very fortunate enough to go to the Philippines, Haiti, Ethiopia. There's also Sri Lanka on the list. What we do is we raise money here in the United States, and we really do events that highlight people with limb difference or maybe a disability here. We do events and then we raise money and then we go to different countries and provide prosthetics to children who are in an underprivileged place and they maybe be in the same device for a few years or have never had a device. So we give them that opportunity to walk. We bring physical therapists and amputee mentors and prosthetists. So the Limcon Foundation, huge foundation, love it. Rob Schulman is the founder. Amazing, amazing person, one of my greatest friends, and just an honor to be a part of it and to help people around the world.
Amazing. Awesome. 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 Kayla, how about you?
Yeah, so I am the social impact manager for Evergreen Prosthetics and Orthotics. And with that, I do a lot of outreach and a lot of education with that role. But I want to do a personal shout out. I'm the vice president of Colorado Discoverability, which is an adaptive outdoor recreation nonprofit. And so, what we do is we provide experiences in rafting, skiing. I was an adaptive ski instructor up until this season, um, and cycling and anything to get people outdoors. Um, and everybody outdoors, and that's kind of the whole point with us. And so we do that all over Western Colorado, and it's a wonderful thing. I was actually a participant when I first came across them, and now I'm the vice president, so it's been quite the journey with that. And then I want to also shout out to the Limb Preservation Foundation because they are a nonprofit here. They're located in Colorado, but they serve the Rocky Mountain region of states. And what they do is they provide not only peer support, but financial assistance with rent, mortgage, utilities, things like that while you're facing potential limb loss or limb salvage surgeries, which is really amazing because there's a lot of these nonprofits that do provide for prosthetics and the aftercare. But when you're going through it, a lot of times, like those financial pieces aren't all there, and you may lose your job and whatnot. So, but these folks provide that support as well. They have a golf tournament coming up in July, so come hang out on the course with me. Not that I'll play, but I'll be there.
In
But yeah,
in Colorado?
so yeah, yep, in Denver, yep.
Oh wow. It's not those too
So,
cold to play golf over there. I guess it's
oh no,
not cold
and they've
there.
got some of the most beautiful golf courses.
Oh wow. See, I don't know golf. All right. I gotta hit
Yeah.
that. Alex, how about you?
Yeah,
I
no,
know
I,
you're
I don't I don't have
coaching.
any organizations that I
You're
work with.
coaching though, right?
But yeah, I am AGT Fit. Alexander Garcia Training is my company. I help people of all ages become the strongest versions of themselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to show up to their lives more powerfully, social, professional, and family lives. And I work on Zoom, also in person if you're here in Miami. But I'm just here to, a person who cares, wants to see you succeed, and just giving you that fighter's touch. Um, and on your life and seeing how that can help you uh, be the most confident, healthiest, strongest version of yourself. I do also want to mention Centennial Schultz Clinic in Colorado. So they're like some of the best in the world at what they do. So if anyone that has any sort of um, you know, orthopedic issue, degenerative disease, neck issues. They're the best at what they do, and they offer plenty of different services. But if you know anyone who could, use any help when it comes to the orthopedic world, definitely recommend them. and also my guy in Fort Lauderdale, Dr. Middleton. He's, one of the best chiropractors in the country, in my opinion. Um, so yeah.
How often do you have to get adjusted?
I've only gotten adjusted once since my procedure like 6 weeks ago. But I think
It's
I've
a
been
lifelong thing, they say, right? For chiropractic.
No, no. So basically, the stem cells are basically they're working to, strengthen all my ligaments, and then I'm also building my muscles as well around my neck. So, with my neck being a lot stronger from the inside and out, um, I shouldn't need to be adjusted too often because the strength of your neck and the ligaments play a role in your necessity to be adjusted. So the beams on the inside are getting strong, and now I'm just building the cement on the outside. So
Mm.
hopefully I don't. I mean, I haven't. I've been hit in the head a couple of times last week. Not hard or anything like that, but haven't needed any sort of adjustment. I feel great. So body's definitely getting stronger.
Your girlfriend punched you again?
No, no, no. This was at the gym.
Oh,
No, this was at the gym.
okay.
Boxers.
What was it like? I'm curious, like the first time you got adjusted, was it just like a head rush, like blood going to
Yeah,
the head?
yeah, yeah. No, like it was wild. Like I felt like sensations going down. Um, yeah, sensations going down. I just felt more like clear-headed, taller, a lot more relaxed. Like look, I have this saved. Um, this was my neck before.
Oh, you got it before and after?
Yeah, of course. So here, okay. So look, this was maybe 2021, right?
Okay.
I have several ones. It's like after my adjustment.
Okay. Yeah, it looks thinner.
Uh, you see, that's like my back. That was before, and then that's after.
Mm. Couldn't even see your neck in the other
I
one.
know I had no neck, man. I had no neck.
Wow. That's wild.
Seriously. Yeah. So my neck has been through a lot, man. So I like being taller, like more confident, before I was like this, you know?
And you didn't even
So
notice, right?
no, I had no idea. I mean, until you see a professional, I mean, I had no idea what my neck's supposed to look like, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I had no idea, you
Wow.
know?
That's
But
wild.
yeah, no, it is. It is. Like, so, but it's good. It's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this and great talking to you all again. Um, Everyone else, go back, check out everyone's individual podcast that we kind of teased you today. So go back, check out their full stories and long form podcast, and you'll get a lot more info. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you again. We're going to sign off here.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. And we will see you again next week.